All right, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ella Taylor.
And I'm Elsa Gerster.
And we're going to be talking to you today about the Sustainability Hub. So a little bit more about us. Once again, my name is Ella Taylor. My pronouns are she, her. I am a junior in environmental sustainability and geography with an emphasis in field studies and a certificate in GIS.
And then I'm Elsa Gerster. I'm a senior geography major with an emphasis in GIS and a minor in environmental studies. Our faculty supervisor is Dr. Jessica Salo, who is a professor and department chair for the Department of Geography, GIS, and Sustainability here at UNC.
So just by a quick show of hands, how many of you have ever had a question about our environment in Colorado? Yeah. So maybe you've wondered, I don't know, where you want to recycle your old electronics, or maybe there's a wildfire near you that you're wondering, how is this affecting our environment, the ecosystem, all that stuff. So our mission is to create this platform that consolidates all the existing sustainability work in Colorado while also empowering underrepresented groups to have a voice in research and policymaking. So at the Sustainability Hub, our commitment to justice, equity, diversity, and inclusivity, what we call JEDI, is absolutely foundational to our mission of creating this platform that not only serves as a resource to all, but also as a catalyst for transformative change. And one of the ways we're doing that is by using artificial intelligence and machine learning to develop this interface that users of all backgrounds across Colorado can use to access this information and data related to sustainability. This project is funded by NSF and their pilot.
All right, so this grant is a collaborative effort between 5 minority serving institutions. So beginning with MSU Denver and Dr. Daniel Pittman, he's our lead PI on the project. He oversees platform development, including machine learning integration and data analytics. Next, we have the University of Denver with Dr. Kirsten Herring, who leads the user-centered design, ensuring a user-friendly interface with a focus on human-computer interaction. Then we have Colorado State University in Fort Collins with Dr. Gregory Newman, who is guiding community engagement and citizen science efforts to connect diverse stakeholders with the platform. Then we also have Colorado State University Pueblo with Dr. Sylvester Caldela, who coordinates community engagement in Southern Colorado, emphasizing the data access and inclusion. Last but not least, we have the University of Northern Colorado with Dr. Jessica Salo, who's in the audience. She manages data democratization, focusing on diverse and inclusive dataset integration.
So a little bit about this machine learning portion. This is led by MSU Denver, but we're working with us at UNC and University of Denver as well. So what we're doing is utilizing natural language processing and large language models to create this chatbot style interface. So it's going to look a little bit like ChatGPT, where users will query this data in their everyday language. So let's see if, yeah, does that work? Okay, so wait. Oh, no. Okay, hold on, please. There we go. Okay, so this is our little animation. It's just a user could ask, what is happening in the Colorado River near my house in Granby after the recent wildfire, and is it hurting the ecosystem? And so natural language processing breaks that down into semantics and categories so that it can find the right data and give us a response and some sort of data visualization along with that to help the user understand what might be some complex data.
All right, so next we have our community engagement team, which is a collaboration between CSU Fort Collins and CSU Pueblo. They've begun stakeholder asset mapping of key groups involved in sustainability work to ensure equitable representation across all regions of Colorado. So we've got our little map over there. This summer, their student researchers catalog sustainability groups, programs, and organizations that are already established and working in their communities. They found a total of 1,396 organizations in Colorado that will be crucial stakeholders for future community engagement activities with the Sustainability Hub. This team also developed a comprehensive survey to gather insights on sustainability practices and data usage across these regions, which has begun to be distributed to stakeholders and collect responses. All right, so we've all heard of the term sustainability, but for the comprehensive purpose of this project, Ella and I have developed a definition to guide all of our efforts when working on this project. We define sustainability as the practice of managing and utilizing available resources for the future. It encompasses a broad range of practices and principles aimed at ensuring the continued health and viability of natural, economic, and social systems within human society. So we've got these three pillars in sustainability, which are environmental, social, and economic. And these pillars work to balance sustainability and ensure that actions made today do not compromise the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
So one of our specifically larger contributions to this project was data indexing. So we were exploring data from federal, state, local agencies, and we hand selected the data that we felt would be relevant and suitable for this project. So some of these we use census data, EnviroScreen, which is like environmental justice mapping, recycling data, trails, air quality, tons of stuff. So the goal was to ensure that this data is diverse and it's credible, and it also encapsulates those three pillars of sustainability. And we also have future plans to include citizen science, so the users can gain like a really community-driven perspective.
All right, so we've got some examples of data sets and the pillar of sustainability that they fall under. So logically, we have air quality under the environmental pillar, we have census tracts under the social pillar, and income data under economic. However, some of these data sets can apply to more than one pillar of sustainability. So here we have some examples of data sets that apply to different pillars or all three. So for example, we have transportation data, so like transportation routes like highways and interstates and roads, and that actually applies to all three pillars of sustainability because it's the built environment, it's a social network that connects us from place to place, and it's economical because we have to put resources into it and they also have value.
So along with this whole data indexing, we had to learn a lot about APIs. And what those are, they're application programming interfaces, and they act as bridges that allow different software systems to communicate and exchange data in real time. And so they're absolutely critical for this project so that we get this live, real-time data. And so we evaluated ArcGIS platforms, Socrates Soda, just platforms that have APIs and other APIs to ensure that this hub can index and query the data in an efficient way. And one of the things this allows us to do is not have to host the data on the website. So it will just take this API and tell the user where to find the data. So we needed to ensure that the APIs that we were harvesting were formatted as a base endpoint with no filters attached. And so what that looks like is just this highlighted gray section. This is an EnviroScreen API from the ArcGIS API Explorer. And we just have to go in, basically just remove all the filters, and that's what's going to be our base endpoint.
All right, so one of the things that helped us figure out what data to index was conducting an internal brainstorming survey on ideas that for users, what data users might want to find, as well as how our team defines sustainability in case we need to revise our definition. It was pretty broad, but we wanted to make sure we weren't forgetting anything. So from the survey, we saw an emphasis on finding more recycling data and finding more economic data sets like affordable housing. At the time that we conducted the survey this past summer, we didn't have that much economic data. And so this survey really helped us point out that we need to find economic data that is also sustainability data. Someone also suggested a career-based brainstorming approach to consider how different people might use the Sustainability Hub. So a county commissioner or a GIS professional or a student or just a community member who wants to know more. And this will be useful for us to develop mock user scenarios. So when we start testing the platform and start testing our chatbot, what different people might want and how they might interact with it. Ultimately, this allowed us to better categorize our data set into groups and different categories. Next, we have the final team working on the Sustainability Hub is our UI UX team. And this is led by MSU Denver with DU to develop the interface for the Sustainability Hub. They're focused on developing a user-friendly interface that will address the community's specific needs with the support of other academic institutions in the state. They use an iterative design process that includes user feedback on website design prototypes. So they partnered with Dr. Herring's human-computer interaction class for early user testing and feedback of 3 initial designs for the Sustainability Hub informational website. So this is ultimately what they landed on.
So what we're doing currently, us specifically are working on the social media campaign for the hub, our sort of Hello World campaign, talking about what we're about, our mission statement. And we're going to be drafting mock user scenarios to help train the LLM. So just like that example question that we had, we're going to be trying to come up with questions that users might ask. We're also going to be working with the data and machine learning team at MSU and DU to review literature around LLM comparisons. We can make sure we select the right one for this project. And then the data and machine learning team are also working on this literature review, as well as a survey research paper around LLM comparison. Our UI UX team will continue adding to our website, as well as begin drafting designs for the actual application, which is really exciting. And they're also working on the literature reviews, kind of a group-wide effort.
And then, so one of the ways that you can follow us for future updates is you can visit sustainabilityhub.co, which is our informational website. You can also scan this QR code, which is our link tree to our social media platforms and our website. So that way you can follow along and you can find out more about the Sustainability Hub, the people involved in the projects like the PIs, all of the student researchers that are involved, as well as community events that we may have in the future, project updates. And if you have any questions or have any ideas or want any feedback, there's a contact form on our website. Thank you. Any questions? Right here.
So it was, I guess there was a grant first, Dr. Saylor, you know more about this. There was like a more research grant to like see what we needed. And then this sort of came out of that. And then we hopped on in February, yeah.
So it's like this big project. We're just sharing our piece of it. And it's a collaborative effort between all 5 of the universities that we listed. They all have student researchers. And so we're just sharing our little piece of it.
Yes. Here.
We haven't quite got there yet, so we're still very much in the developmental phase. Our website just went live a few months ago. This is one of the ways that we're starting to let people know about it. Right now, it's just an informational website. We haven't gotten far enough yet, so it is a 3-year grant. We're still just in year 1, and so we're working on getting started, basically. But as we approach the end and as we approach having something that people can actually interact with, we'll definitely advertise it more. I've mentioned to some of our people about like a news release or a press release maybe. And our social media is definitely gonna be one of the ways that we advertise it, because the Sustainability Hub is going to be for everyone, regardless of what your job is, what your background is, what you wanna know or what you wanna do. The Sustainability Hub is aiming to be useful for anyone in Colorado.
That's a good question. I think so. Elsa's graduating.
Yeah, I'm graduating in May, and so so I'm graduating in May, and I want to keep working on the project as long as I can. Part of my favorite part of working on this project is being able to share with people about this cool thing that will be coming in the future. We do have a website now, so you can at least read about it, and you can read about the grant more. And I'm just really excited to get to know all these people and do a bunch of different networking. So like the team that we work most closely with is MSU Denver. And so we've gotten to learn a lot more about computer science.
Yeah.
We had no idea what APIs were. The first meeting where they started to mention that, we were like, what are you talking about? What is this? Sometimes when talking to them, we have to be like, can you break that down for us? We are not computer science people. So it's really cool just to get like the experience and the networking out of this for me.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I feel really excited about learning more about computer science. The whole inner workings of this hub is really exciting to me, and I'd love to at least contribute some to that. I obviously can't because I'm not pursuing a computer science degree, but I think it's really cool, and advocating for that sustainability and diversity aspect among all these computer science people, I think is a really good spot to be in. I'll graduate. I'm a junior, so I'll graduate in 2026, but. That is a great question. Would probably 2 right now, Sayla? Okay.
As of now, just English and Spanish. Yes. And that's something that we're going to tackle. It's just not something that we're focused on right now. Initially, we're just starting with collecting data and how do we work through that data and how do we identify that data. Since we're not hosting it, that's a lot of what we've done is how do we access that data without hosting it, and how can we accurately go through that data and pull out meaning and answer questions. And so that'll be the next phase. That's definitely a consideration that they have for down the line, is how do we translate these things? How do we work with different languages and how people might phrase things differently? But that's definitely a future consideration. It's not just something that we're working on right now.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.